What is going on, guys? BrettO Live back with another video. Welcome to the Week in Review, episode 150. We are 50 episodes away from episode 200. I cannot believe it. But yes, guys, we got the Week in Review, episode 150. This is where we go over Raw and SmackDown at WWE action figure setup style. Raw was okay. Wasn't as bad as last week. Oh my god, last week was so brutal. If you haven't already seen episode 149, check it out. But yes, this is episode 150. Raw was okay. It had some decent parts, had some pretty disappointing parts. We're going to talk about each and every thing that happened on the show. So without further ado, let's get into Raw and SmackDown. We get to the opening promo of the show. It was Brock Lesnar coming out. Obviously, Brock Lesnar reigning supreme at the Elimination Chamber, winning the men's Elimination Chamber match to become WWE champion. It was pretty cool. Lesnar coming out as a face, clapping hands to the crowd, jumped in the ring. He's like, I'm the new champion. I'm this. I'm fighting Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We all know. And then Mr. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out, thinks he could out-talk Brock Lesnar, of course, because he was the advocate for the reigning, defending, undisputed. You guys know the rest. For all these years, he's like, I'm going to out-talk Brock Lesnar, but it didn't really happen. Lesnar kind of shut up Paul Heyman, said how he's going to be at SmackDown this Friday. He's going to be laying down the law there. He's going to try to go after Roman Reigns. So, Paul Heyman was a little starstruck when he heard that. But yeah, this was a solid promo. Some exchange of words between Paul and Lesnar. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. Moving to the opening match of the night, it was the Street Profits versus Chad Gable and Otis, the Alpha Academy. I wasn't really looking forward to this match. I feel like we've seen this match multiple different times. And of course, they don't want to make the Alpha Academy look bad going into WrestleMania season. So, the Alpha Academy was able to pick up the victory here over the Street Profits. Wasn't a bad match. I was actually kind of into it. Angelo Dawkins had this wicked dive over the top rope. I thought that was freaking epic. But in the end, Street Profits were able to pick up the victory, reign supreme. Wasn't a bad match. Moving over here, it was Reggie coming out. Of course, he's the new 24/7 champion, turning on Dana Brooke last week on Monday Night Raw. And then Dana Brooke comes out, and then he's like, I want Dana out here. Dana, come out here. So Dana comes out, and then Reggie's like, I'm going to let you pin me to become 24/7 champion. But then Reggie kicks out twice, and then basically pranks Dana Brooke, and then all the 24/7 goons run down. I'm like, this is just so stupid. That's why I have Dana Brooke and the 24/7 championship in the garbage can. If I had a Reggie figure too, I'd throw it in there too. Absolutely garbage. I could care freaking less. Moving over here, The Miz. An episode of Miz TV, special guest, The Mysterios. And on this episode of Miz TV, he was going to reveal who his tag team partner was. And you guys got to remember, WrestleMania is like almost 5 weeks away. So they have a lot of time to build up for these matches, which I think could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing because WWE's pretty bad when it comes to long-time storytelling nowadays. But anyways, Miz, he's like, I want to introduce you to my tag team partner to fight the Mysterios at WrestleMania because, of course, John Morrison's no longer with WWE, unfortunately. So he brings out, not Cody Rhodes, he brings out Logan Paul. And then Logan Paul and The Miz, they just freaking beat down the Mysterios. I was like, dude, what? You're really going to give us Logan Paul? That dude does not deserve to be at WrestleMania, dude. Neither does freaking, what's his name? Oh my gosh, that one dude feuding with Sami Zayn. Johnny Knoxville. That dude also doesn't deserve to be at Mania. Neither does Logan Paul. What the heck is going on? But yeah, Miz and Logan Paul, they just lay out the Mysterios. I'm like, okay, that's stupid. I could care less. Moving over here, it was Edge. Edge came out. He had his serious promo. We haven't seen Edge since him and his wife beat Miz and Maurice in that one tag team match. So it was pretty cool to see them back in the ring. At least to see Edge back in the ring. He was talking about how WrestleMania needs Edge. And Edge needs an opponent for WrestleMania. So who's it going to be? It's an open challenge. It is an open challenge set out by Edge. And I don't know who Edge is gonna face. I really don't know. Maybe a possible return. But honestly, I have no clue who Edge is gonna face. But whoever he does face, it's gonna be a banger of a match. I guarantee that. Moving over here was Tommaso Ciampa. He needed a tag partner. To go up against the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and he found one in Finn Balor. I thought this was a really cool tag team match. It was awesome seeing Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor team up with each other, go up against the Dirty Dogs. I found it pretty cool. In the end, Tommaso Ciampa was able to pin Bobby Roode to pick up the victory, or Robert Roode. And then, of course, because Dolph Ziggler and him are going to be fighting on NXT 2.0, which I could care less about, not even going to watch it. But yeah, as far as this tag team match goes, wasn't half bad. I kind of enjoyed it. Moving over here, it was a match between Bianca Belair and Doudrop, a match that I feel like we've seen multiple times already. In the end, Bianca Belair showed off her insane feats of strength, which is pretty insane, by the way. She was able to powerbomb Doudrop and then do the KOD to Doudrop, but it's nothing we haven't seen. We've seen it already, we've seen it, in the 5-match freaking thing with Doudrop. which I could care less about. And then, of course, Becky Lynch was on commentary, cheering on Doudrop, I would assume. And then, yeah, Bianca Belair was able to pick up the victory with the KOD, and she's gunning after Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. Moving over here is Rhea Ripley going up against Nikki Cross, another match that I feel like we've seen 20 times. Rhea Ripley was able to pick up the victory over Nikki Cross again, and I could care freaking less. Moving over here is Damian Priest going up against Shelton Benjamin. I found this match very odd, no build-up, no anything. They kind of just sent Shelton Benjamin out there with Damian Priest, one-on-one, not for the United States title, but even if it was for the United States title, Damian Priest reigns supreme and gets his United States title back no matter what. So, yeah, it was a decent match. Priest was able to pick up the victory, and then after, he grabbed the microphone and he said, I need bigger, like, championship material contenders for this United States Championship. So he basically said it on an open challenge, but not really saying an open challenge. I found it kind of odd. He said, like, I don't know. It was a weird way of saying, okay, this is an open challenge. And then Finn Balor came out. Finn Balor came out again and then confronted Damian Priest. So it's more than likely going to be Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, probably at Madison Square Garden. I don't think they'll save that for WrestleMania. But yeah, it ought to be pretty good. And hopefully Finn Balor can pick up the United States Championship. I think that'd be pretty cool. But as far as the match goes between Shelton and Priest, kind of lame, honestly. Moving over here, it was the main event of the show. It was Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens going up against Randy Orton and Matt Riddle in a 2-on-2 tag team match. If Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens win, they are added to the tag team Raw Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. I think it's at WrestleMania, or is it at Madison Square Garden? I would assume it's at WrestleMania. But anyways, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, they are able to pick up the victory in a pretty freaking decent match. In the end, I felt bad for Riddle. Riddle got a stunner. He got a stomp. He got literally every move done on him before Seth and Kevin pinned him. I was like, oh my God, poor Riddle. He just got freaking decimated. But yeah, after Kevin and Seth were able to pick up the victory, it's going to turn into a triple threat tag team match with Alpha Academy, RK Bro, and Seth and Kevin, which wasn't a bad way to end the show, I don't think. But yeah, guys, it was a decent Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't say it was the best Monday Night Raw, obviously. They still have a lot of work to do. I wasn't a fan of Logan Paul. Just no, dude. Like, yeah, just no. But yeah, guys, it was Monday Night Raw. In the end, I'm probably going to give it a 2 out of 5. It's definitely not a 1 out of 5. Definitely a 2 out of 5 for this week. Kept me entertained sometimes, weak most of the time. Now we're going to jump into SmackDown. Continuing the week in review here with SmackDown. SmackDown was an okay show. Kept me entertained for some parts in the show. But like I said, it was an okay show. We are going to jump into it, go through it play by play. Let's do it. Here we opened up the show with Ronda Rousey coming out, talking to Michael Cole about all the accomplishments that she's had in the past with UFC, with all these different Olympic crap. And Ronda Rousey says, I don't like to dwell on the past. Of course, the past is good, all my accomplishments, everything that I've gained. But I'm about the future. I am here to take down Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. And then, speak of the devil, Charlotte Flair makes her entrance, comes down the ramp, and then it was all basically a big distraction. Sonya Deville attacks Charlotte from behind, and then they try to do a little 2-on-1, and it works pretty effectively. Charlotte wraps the leg around the steel post here, slams on the steel post, damages Ronda Rousey's leg, and then it was only Sonya Deville in the ring. Charlotte is very cowardly, though, in her acts, trying to take out Ronda Rousey. It's always Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville's in the ring, fails to take out Ronda Rousey as her leg is injured, and then Ronda Rousey takes out Sonya Deville, points at Charlotte, and then sends Sonya Deville basically out of the ring. But yeah, it's okay. If it was my booking, I definitely would not have Sonya Deville involved with any of this. I would definitely just keep it strictly Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. I think it'd make it more interesting and focus just on them, because Sonya's not in the match at Mania. Why is she in this rivalry? But yeah, it was an okay way to open the show, I guess. Moving into our opening match, it was Big E and Kofi Kingston going up against Los Lotharios. But before I get into that match, Big E's birthday is supposedly coming up this coming week here, and Kofi Kingston got him an early birthday gift. The Wreckin' Mattel ATV. Dude, what a coincidence. We saw Braun Strowman destroy the Wreckin' Camaro, or Wreckin' car, or whatever. And we saw Drew McIntyre destroy the Wreckin' motorcycle that was Jinder Mahal's. And now we're seeing the New Day drive down to the ring in the Mattel Wreckin' ATV. Dude, go buy this thing from Target. Literally is awesome. And now it's on the big screen. I think it might be a one-time deal, though. But anyways, they rode down to the ring, looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but not as crazy as Stone Cold Steve Austin. He punches it down to the ring. Big E was kind of driving a little slow. But hey, still cool seeing them come down on ATV. They were able to pick off Los Lotharios. Not a bad match. New Day was able to pick up the victory, like I said, midnight hour to pick up the victory. And yeah, I guess they're gunning towards the Usos after the Usos beat the Viking Raiders. We all know that's happening. So it's probably going to be New Day versus Usos again at WrestleMania, which I hate to say that, but it's always good. There's no complaining there. Moving over here, it was supposed to be Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. I'm like, ooh, are they actually going to do this? Because Corbin's undefeated right now ever since being moved to SmackDown. So are they really going to give Corbin the loss here? I had that in the back of my mind. And then, all of a sudden, Corbin says, Madcap, you're going to take on McIntyre. I mean, it's only Drew. It's only Drew McIntyre. After, like, Madcap's neck injury and everything at Elimination Chamber, which, dude, hats off to that man. I still have mad respect for Moss, dude. He always takes some insane bumps. So mad respect to Moss. Riddick Moss, Madcap Moss, whatever. But anyways, Drew McIntyre was able to pick off Madcap Moss, Claymore kick, picks up the victory, and then basically stares down Corbin. I really hope they don't do a spot where it's Corbin versus Drew at Mania. I would not be a fan of that. But you never know. I think they might do that, though. And over here is a one-on-one match. Sasha Banks going up against Shotzi Blackheart, I feel like I haven't seen her since the Royal Rumble. Could be wrong on that, but I really feel like I haven't seen Shotzi since the Royal Rumble, which is kind of odd. Same with Sasha, dude, honestly. But yeah, they randomly pop out, one-on-one match. It was pretty fresh, not a bad match. It was a short match, but it was pretty fresh. Naomi was on commentary. I found that kind of odd. And then after the match, after Sasha Banks, of course, won, Naomi rushes the ring. I'm like, oh, what's Naomi about to do? Is she about to take out Sasha Banks? No, grabs her hand and says, you're looking at the next women's tag team champions. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually really into that. Let's go. Sasha Banks and Naomi, formerly Team Bad, if you add Tamina. But yeah, I'm really into this team. This ought to be really good. They're definitely going to be taking those freaking titles from Selena and Carmella. Like, do they even have those titles anymore? I freaking forgot. They're such terrible champions. But yeah, this is great. Super into that team. That is awesome. Moving over here with Sami Zayn's Intercontinental Championship celebration, coming out here, talking about how he overcame the odds, WWE, the conspiracy, everything. He overcame everything, and Johnny Knoxville comes out. I'm like, oh my God, no! So Johnny Knoxville comes out, and then, okay, before I even talk about this, it cannot be Knoxville versus Zayn at Mania. It can't be. Vince, no. It cannot be Knoxville versus Zayn at Mania. This is the Intercontinental Championship we are talking about. You cannot do this. Don't do this. We can get the match, but do it on like a SmackDown, please. This cannot be at Mania. Don't do it. Oh my God, please no. But anyways, Johnny Knoxville starts talking some crap. You know, Sami Zayn super frustrated. He interrupted his little celebration. So Sami Zayn takes him out, 2 hula kicks, and then Ricochet challenges him next week for the Intercontinental Championship backstage, which I'm looking forward to that, but Ricochet's unfortunately going to lose. Moving over here, it was the contract signing for the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship unification match at WrestleMania. They're calling it one of the biggest WrestleMania matches of all time, which is definitely a big one. But I mean, we've seen Roman versus Brock like 3 times at Mania, I believe. Maybe 2, 34, 31. There might have been more, but yes, it feels like there's been more. But yes, we've seen this match at Mania already, so how is it? Well, of course, it's title versus title, so I guess it is a pretty big match. But yeah, they had a contract signing, and just like every other contract signing, talking tough, I'm going to beat you at Mania, I'm going to beat you at Mania, and then the security was in the ring, they were on Roman Reigns' side. I found it very cool. Roman Reigns was just pointing around. He's like, these commentators, this cameraman, that WrestleMania sign, this ring, these people, I own everybody. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. It's like really, he like sounds like a tribal chief, you know, even though he's a tribal chump. But no, I love Roman Reigns. He's the best thing about WWE right now. If it wasn't for Reigns, oh my God, this company would be literally more in the dirt than it already is. But anyways, Brock Lesnar takes out the security guards and then basically reigns supreme with the WWE Championship. Not too bad at all. Cool way to end the show. Lesnar and Reigns, they always hype up the crowd. But yeah, not too bad at all. But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown. Like I said, it was an okay show. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in the end. It was kind of mid, but it also had some decent parts in it, so that's not why it's definitely not getting a 1. 2 out of 5 for SmackDown. Let me know what you guys thought about the shows down in the comments down below. Ratings included, and I'll see you guys next time. BrettO Live out.